dun, dun. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I still need theme music for this. I'm sure I'll find it somewhere. So, welcome to another Getting Projects Done. We are going to continue our work, or my work, not our work, but my work, on the little Funko. The little Funko Pop. He's a little Funko. Yeah, so we're going to continue work on him. I'm continuing to work on him as a Howling Griffin, as some of you may or may not already realize. I know you kind of have to be pretty dense to not realize it, but anywho, yeah. So if you're attending live, feel free to say hi in the chat, and if you're watching this after the fact or on YouTube, I stream this every Friday, usually at 12 p.m., although sometimes it might be later, earlier, who knows, maybe at night on a Friday. Who knows? I leave this pretty wide open, but I record this. I usually post this on the Wednesdays on the YouTube, but either way, feel free to join me and say hello and, pose a question or whatever, right? I know. So let's get to work. So this, clicking buttons here. This guy, we're getting to work on him today. So I have not touched him since last week, and, he looks fine. I'm mostly happy with where he's at the moment. I was going to give him a sealant before I carried on with the next phase, but I decided against it. I'm not sure why, but today we are going to work on, what I need is something to, hold it. Well, here the helmet, I can pretty much, put my fingers in and, hold it. But, I kind of want something for, well, I guess I could always just hold it by here, right? I don't know. Either way. And I guess I just make sure my hands are clean, right? So, I want to work on the eyes today. I want to get this stuff done. I want to get this helmet pretty much done. And, yeah, so I can start sealing it and everything like that. So, we're going to mask off these eyes. I'm going to spray these eyes today. I'm going to use the airbrush and spray these eyes. To mask off the area, I'm going to use some of this parafilm. I like this stuff. This has been super, super handy. Now, I have not sealed it, which is why I'm kind of reluctant. But we will... I gotta make sure which one's my good sharp one here. I always have a nice sharp one just for this kind of work, and I have one that's just for regular cleaning. X-Acto blade I'm talking about here. Somebody's out there like, what one is he talking about? Anyway. Yeah, so we're going to use some parafilm here. This stuff's really fun. If you're not familiar with this, go ahead and look it up. Parafilm. It's really fun stuff. And it is great for, masking pretty much organic shapes and such, and odds and ends. And so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to slap it right on his face like so that I can spray these eyeballs. Reziel, what up, dude? What up? And, so all you got to do is just kind of stretch it out just a bit before slapping it down. And basically what this does is it kind of opens it up, and this stuff kind of retracts back in on itself. And so as it does that, it grabs hold of the surface. So I do this. Now, again, like I said, I'm not sure if it's going to grab really well because I've done this a lot with, surfaces that are a lot stiffer, had harder edges and such. Actually, I'm going to pull this all the way around, actually. It is very, very stretchy, and once it's easy to break enough. It kind of has a waxy finish to it. Yeah, see, it's not grabbing as nicely as I'd like. I wonder if I should have came over the other way with it. Oh no, I just have to give it a couple seconds here to start to relax. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to massage it into the other areas of the face. For that, I'm just going to use something that's not hard or not sharp. Yeah, it's starting to grab on now. I just want it to work into these areas here as it's kind of stretching around. Get a nice cling going on here. It's kind of, think like saran wrap. Like we're using saran wrap, as it were. And you probably could use saran wrap as a masking for, you know, airbrushing and such. But yeah, so you can see how it's like really clinging to that surface now. You can see how like it's easier to see on the red side because it's a little darker to see as the light plays on the surface. On the yellow side, it's kind of hard to see, but it is clinging. I'm going to give that a few moments actually to relax now because, yeah, it's clinging the way I want it to. Now, the next question is the eyes. How are we going to do these eyes? Are we going to do them green? We're going to do them blue? I was thinking blue, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. Ghost the Starman Deluxe. There he is. Hey, Chris and Monkeys. Hello. Raziel, press and seal. Yeah. Well, I usually just like stretch it over the surface. I usually give it a pre-stretch before I apply it, and you can see now like it's adhering really nicely to the surface, as you may or may not be able to see. I guess I could bring the camera up closer, right? See right there. This looks like a little air pocket. No, that's not an air pocket. That's just the way that face is shaped. I just want to make sure that this is adhering properly as it can. I had shown this in a video. What was it doing? Oh, I was doing these. Anybody watched the video I did on doing the Necromunda bases? Yeah, I used parafilm to mask those off. Anyway. Alrighty. Sir Peanut Butter, subscribe with Twitch Prime. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Alright, oh, I already got my blade. So now is the tricky part. Because now I want to remove, very carefully, the little area around the eye so that I can spray and, yeah. No, press and seal is the plastic wrap type of product that's similar. Oh, yeah. I'm saying it's kind of like that, but it's like saran wrap. If you've ever tried using it on, say, like a model surface to mask with, it doesn't cling. Like it clings, but it doesn't quite cling the way you'd like. Whereas this stuff, it has this stretchability and this durability to it, and so yeah. You know what? That's still not really good enough there. Where is... There it is. I like using this little tool here. It's like a little dental pick. It's got the little rubberized end to it. I like working this right there. Yeah, see? There we go. Just got to be careful because sometimes if you overwork it, you can end up tearing it. And then you end up creating like the blank spot. And then you can end up like spraying paint into areas that you don't want to spray into. So, just something to be mindful of. Make sure it's all worked around the eye here. Yeah, see I'm pushing pretty aggressively there. It's actually, I think it's starting to pop that. So, you just don't want to be too aggressive with it. All right. So just a light pressure. Okay, and see if I can get this off here. It's like doing freaking surgery here. There we go. And just like that. Bang. See? Now we can spray the eye. And that's all we're going to do. This one here is not quite the full perimeter of the eye, but we can always come back and correct later. And because of the nature of the film, we could also shape it as well. There we go. Yeah, see, I did that doubling back on that cut there. Create that little string. Okay. So reshape this, and I will push it out a little bit more, out to the perimeter of the eye. Again, like I said, any boo-boos and such, you know, we can always come back. Can always come back. Yeah, there we go. Not bad, not bad at all. In fact, I can live with that. So it doesn't pop up during spraying. That'd be embarrassing. That would be embarrassing. Just making sure the perimeter is nice and pressed down. There. So, like I said, we're ready to start spraying those eyeballs. Now, again, like I said, what color are we doing the eyes? Nobody's shouted out any ideas yet. Reziel, I would definitely choose to paint the eyes green, so I bet that means you choose blue. No, green's good. Like a nice dark, really kind of foresty green, almost black, to a foresty green. We can do that, definitely. Let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? I guess we could just probably bust out regular Citadel paints. Seeing as how I'm going to seal this anyway. Right? Yeah, let's just use some regular old Citadel paints. Ain't gonna hurt us none. I'm just going to grab my box of paints here. So I'm going to grab some Caliban Green. This is the Citadel Air variety. Let's grab... I'm definitely going to need some Abaddon Black. We'll probably need a gray. Probably need some white. That's a black as well. Have these all been opened? Oh, this one's been opened. Okay, so I'll probably use that one then. We'll keep that one handy, just in case. I thought I had a lighter green. Something for highlighting. We probably could... Now, Warboss Green's kind of desaturated. I want a more saturated green. I'm not finding my color here. We might end up having to mix it. So for that, we'll grab some Flash Gets Yellow. See, the label's already been kind of sprayed over. Overspray and such. Yeah, maybe we'll mix a color. Who knows? These are not really big areas, so I don't really think we have to worry too much about them. Elysian Green? No. I'm looking more for a... Castellan Green? No. Like Warpstone Glow. Is there not a Warpstone Glow in air? I'm gonna need white. What the F? What the actual F? Oh, I think this white's been used. That white's been used too. That one's run kind of low there. We'll give that one a really good shake. No, we don't really need thinner. Yeah, I thought there was like a Warpstone Glow in Citadel Air. Guess not. What the F, G-Dub? What the F? All right. So that's what we're stuck with. So we're just gonna have to mix our colors. Big whoop. I think I will start off with some black though. Let's give these a really good shake. Be careful of reaching over here. Ghost Starman Deluxe. I was going to say blue. Yeah, we can go either way, right? I mean, you know, whatever. I'm going to start off black, and I'm going to do this up in a gemstone fashion, in the typical fashion in which we do gemstones. You know, so we're going to start off with black, and we're going to slowly build up the blues, and then come in with a really, or green. And, oh, excuse me. I guess if I really wanted that mid-tone, I could just use regular green, right? Where's Warp Block? Yeah, I guess we could just use, or Warpstone Glow. Warpstone Glow, that's the color I'm thinking of. Yeah, see, because we're going to go Caliban green, then Warpstone Glow. I mean, if I'm going to use a Citadel color, I might as well use regular Citadel, right? I might as well use Moot green, right? Because that's the color I'm after anyway, right? So I might as well just spray Moot green through the brush. Oop. See, I gotta be careful where I'm grabbing stuff. I grabbed a corner, I felt it lift. Usually whenever I've used parafilm for the masking, the object has always had a lot of texture on it. And so I just never really worried about, you know, it lifting. Because it usually, whenever it's got like sharp, like hard edges, the parafilm doesn't lift off. But the Funko has got a lot of soft edges all over it. So, what am I doing? Grab my airbrush, I guess. Do I have it turned on? Yep, it's on. Alright. Raziel, red and yellow are better complemented by green in theory, in my opinion. I usually go Caliban, Warpstone, then Vallejo Scorpion. Yeah, Vallejo Scorpion is this very similar to Moot Green. It's a limey green color, right? But as far as red and yellow are better complemented by green, in theory, well, sure. I mean, red and green are complementary colors, right? So, you know. But see, the thing is, and I'm sure, Raziel, you've heard me say this many, many times, that when we're talking complementary colors, it doesn't mean colors that complement each other, that look nice next to each other. I got to clean my needle, so that's why I'm ranting right now. It doesn't mean colors that look nice next to each other. That's not what complementary means in this instance. When we're talking about color theory, complementary means colors that complete each other. That's what it means. Not colors that look nice to each other. But I'm sure you've heard me say that many, many times. Because I've tried to educate people on that one many, many times. See, because the thing is that, well, in traditional color theory, when you mix yellow and purple, you're supposed to get a gray, but in practice you get a brown. You mix green and red, you get a brown. You mix orange and blue, you get a brown. In traditional color theory that pertains to light, where the primary colors are red, blue, green, and you use the complementary colors on each other, they neutralize each other, and they do make a gray cast. They neutralize each other. That's what it means. So, because basically when you were talking about color theory, right, the colors, especially in light theory, or in regards to light, the colors are all part of white, right? They're all completing white. White is light, and when you put it through prism, right, you get the rainbow. And so that's why. Because the red completes with the green spectrum, blue in the orange spectrum, purple in the yellow spectrum. Although, technically, when we're talking light, purple doesn't exist. get your head around that one. Okay. Yeah. Purple does not exist. Purple may in fact be a construct of our brains. If you believe that one. Reziel, I have the Funko Spacemarine. I want to paint too. Yeah, I just don't own Moot Green. Yeah, I realize that. Well, I didn't realize it, but I mean, I get it. I gets it. I just got to make sure this paint's really shook. It's been a while since I used this one. So, see, I was thinking, I just checked those little circles too. I should have kept them. Oh no, they would have flew all over the place. But anyway. All right. So, I think I've done a video on this. Yeah. Basically, when you're dealing with paint pots and airbrush colors, right? I'm going to use my Renegade Chrome here. I'm spraying it at what? 20 psi? Oh shit, I'm still at 30 psi. That's well, I'm about 15 psi now. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to use my Renegade Chrome. I got a high roller trigger on it just because I like the high roller trigger. So, yeah, I did a video on this not too long ago. Basically dealing with dropper style bottles or paint pots and using a glass eyedropper to extract your paint and load your brush. And I will demonstrate it as I usually do. Now normally I grab some water and just kind of slush it through the dropper beforehand. Wipe off the excess so as not to contaminate. And then I draw it up usually to about right to that little, what is that called? Like, not the bell, but right around into there. And that's usually enough. I don't need that much paint in there. Then I just backwash the eyedropper through my dirty rinse water just to quickly rinse it off, and I'm good to go. That's it. That's all I do. Okay. Looks eerie now. When you see the light highlights off of it, it looks like when somebody's possessed in the horror films and their eyes are completely black. Bum bum. Anyway, so normally, if I had like a lot of paint in there, I gotta get that out, right? So, nope. Because it's a tiny little amount, I usually just grab a little bit of water. You can see there. See the water? See it in there? I'll just give a couple drops, right? And then just dump it into my rinse water. Grab a little bit more water. And then I run it through the brush. And I'm spraying into an overspray jar right now. Once I've given a couple little quick rinse, just use a paper towel just to wipe the excess out. Right. This actually has still a little bit of Windex on it from when I was cleaning the needle. And so once I'm satisfied with that, either I can flush it or here's the other thing I do. When I have the cup like that, and I think, oh, okay, it looks pretty clean, right? Then I'll take a little bit of water in my eyedropper, and I'll drop it in, and you can see that it kind of changes tints just a little bit. And often what I'll do is I'll back and forth the water like that. So if you ever hear me in videos and such, and I'm doing airbrushing, and you hear this sound, that's why. It's because I'm back and forth in the cup, just drawing it out, and you can see how murky the water is now. That's because that's that residual paint in there. I am a big stickler for keeping my shit clean. So now it should be a lot better. I mean, my brushes aren't pristine. I mean, you can see the end nozzle. It's got a little paint there, you know. Or it's a little bit of paint on the cup here. You know what I mean? Like, it's not perfect, but when I need it to work, it works. All right. I have done videos. Well, okay, yeah. Revised, I suppose, yeah. I think I've done videos. I did a brush care video on my YouTube channel not too long ago for brushes. I don't know if I did one for airbrushing though. But anyway. Yeah, there's no shortage of videos I could create, but I'm only one man, you know. Sorry, I'm giving up my Caliban green here. Good thorough shaking before we use it here. And yeah, Reziel, I mean, like, Mini Wargaming had that promotion there a week ago, 2 weeks ago. They gave everybody access to the vault for free, like not even having to sign up. And I mean, if you weren't that familiar with my work, I mean, like, that was your opportunity to download my discography. Because that's where a majority of my work resides. And it's a large body of work I've created there. I've been doing this since 2011, so 9 years. Been making videos, tutorials. It's a lot of work. All right, so now we're getting to a point here where we're going to have to start making some choices. Because which way do we want to build the highlight? Now, see, initially I was thinking of like coming in this way with the green on this side and this way with the green on this side, but I all of a sudden got the feeling that it might give the Funko a cross-eyed kind of look. So then I started thinking maybe a straight down kind of look, or maybe just a few degrees off, so it doesn't look cross-eyed, because cross-eyed would definitely be if we built the highlights right, like it was dark that way and really light this way, dark over here, light over here, right? That would look really cross-eyed. Whereas if we do it just at a slight angle, yeah, something like that, shouldn't give us too, because I mean, I want it to look good, because usually when you look at Space Marine helmets, oftentimes that dark spot on the lens is towards this back corner of the helmet, right? And if I do the dark spot over here and the light spot over here, then it looks like the light source thing's over here, especially when you're viewing it from this side. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Do the sort of gem look. That's exactly what we're doing. Were you not paying attention? I said that at the very beginning of this video. That's how we're going about this. It's how lenses are all done. Lenses, non-metallic metal. I mean, so many effects rely on this particular look, where you build the darkness up at the high point, lighter colors at the bottom, with a spot highlight on the very top into the dark areas, and that gives you your impression of translucency, or the non-metallic metalness, or what's another one that relies on that effect? But anyway, doing the translucency, yeah, that's all it is. You're playing off of that as you work your way through whatever you're doing, right? It's always to certain degrees, because sometimes it doesn't have to go all the way to a black and go to a bright. It could be, just a little bit dark and a little bit light, and that gives you different impressions, right? If you push it really far to really dark, then it feels deep, and if it's not quite as dark, then it feels very shallow. All these things, right? So anyway, we are going to do some Caliban green. Now, we don't really need too much here because, again, this is going to be a quick little highlight. So, there we go. So all I do is I just give the eyedropper, and that's the other reason why I often recommend using glass eyedroppers, because it's really easy to clean them. You just squirt Windex through them, and you're good to go. I'm the only one pestering you. I'll shut up for a bit. Well, I know Ghost Starman Deluxe is around. And speaking of pests. Still kind of laughing about that one, about the whole OnlyFans thing. Freaking little jerk. This is spraying kind of thin. Did I not mix this enough? I'm going to spray upwards so that I get most of that edge there. Trying to come right about where this the grill is, between the grill and the hose. And that's kind of where I want to be aiming. Yeah. Something weird going on there. Interesting. Go start by the looks. Got him. Got him. Yeah, you better hope I don't ever come back to England, man. I'll be looking for you, buddy. Buster. That was good, though. You got me. You got me. My mouth was open. And we're just slowly building up to that green. Slowly. Yeah, I think that should work out fine. All right. Now, for gigs, let's add, because there's still a little bit of green, dark green in there, I'm going to add a fairly heavy helping of Warpstone Glow. Oh shit, I need something to mix it with. Let's grab this one here. I'm going to use Tester's Model Master Acrylic, just to thin this out just a bit. So I need a free hand here so I can open this and draw a little bit of paint out. Grim, I've been around as well, just listening. Indeed. Yeah, I'm surrounded by smart asses is what's going on. Now, when using regular Citadel colors, I could use the dropper, and the paint will move through the dropper fine. It's just I find that more of the paint resides in here versus using thinner airbrush type paints, which can be flushed really easily because they're very thin bodied, whereas regular Citadel paint is kind of heavy bodied. So, yeah. All right. So let's grab a little bit of warpstone glue. I'm gonna grab my trusty rusty paint grabbing brush. Let's grab about that much. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, you know, we're gonna grab a little bit more than that. Just like so. Let's grab our medium. And let's put in about, I don't know, 3 or 4 drops. Now let's go 5. Let's close this up. Still got our brush sitting here handy. And give this a nice good thorough mixing. Raziel, I'm too obnoxious to just listen. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, whatever keeps me talking, right? I mean, makes the video a little bit more interesting, right? If I'm talking, not just nonsense either, but, you know, talking about what I'm doing, the processes in which I conduct myself. So with this first color, I'm going to just reinforce what I had done initially with the Caliban green. And yeah. Let's run it through I have to run it through a little bit here there we go. That's our mixture. That seems to flow okay. Might have to turn the PSI down maybe a bit more. Got a little too much green on that side there. Better. Better. Starting to see some of the green come through. So now we are going to flush this entire mixture. Again, it was only a couple drops of paint, so I'm not too worried about, you know, wasting and, you know, stuff like that. But if it was a really large mixture, then yeah, I mean, should be concerned. Oh, excuse me. Now, when we get to the moot green phase, I'm thinking about, because I want to create a little crescent in the lens. And I don't want to have to do it by hand. I want to have a nice kind of gradient to it using the airbrush. But we'll see. We'll cover that bridge when we get there, I guess. I guess actually I probably should start it now then if I'm thinking about how I want to start a crescent shape. if I do it with Warpstone Glow, initially the green was not, you know, becoming very apparent, but now it's definitely looking a lot better. Yeah. So. Decisions. Yeah, we'll do it. I'm going to use a little bit of silly putty. I'm going to use a little bit of silly putty. I'm going to make a circle. Well, essentially a little. I'm just going to take a little bit here. I'm just going to get it out of its container here. It's all being annoying and gooey. Actually, this stuff is probably getting pretty old, actually, because it doesn't seem to let go as nicely. Usually silly putty, you know, you can just like grab a surface and, you know, it doesn't do squat to it, right? Yeah. Had to make sure. So I'm gonna make sure it's all thoroughly homogenized. And then I'm gonna grab a little pea, roll it into a little ball, and then just slam it over basically the kind of center area of the lens. So that when I spray, it's a mask within the mask within the mask kind of thing, right? Silly putty is miraculous. Yes, it is. It's good stuff. It's my favorite masking agent, other than probably parafilm. Parafilm's great for like large surfaces and impromptu, especially when you want to maintain straight lines. It's really great. Silly putty, not so much, but organic shapes, so you can't beat silly putty. Well, you can, but would you want to? All right, is this big enough? That might be a little too big, but let's give it a shot. I'm just rolling it in my hand and make it a little ball. Actually, is this too big? Yeah, it's kind of big. I'm going to break this in half, and that should be enough for both lenses. Approximately same sizes. I'm going to roll it into a ball. I want to make sure I preserve as accurate a shape as possible. And then we just slappez-vous onto the lens. Oh, you got to kind of do it really fast. So I'm going to try and go for about the center. Yeah, let's go for about the center here. Just like so. That's it. I like that. Let's do it to this lens. Try and do this really quick without having to, hang on to the ball, because silly putty changes shape pretty fast. Just like that. I want to try and make sure I'm keeping it in the same direction. And so what I'm looking for is that little sliver inside between the silly putty and the mask. There's a little bit of that green showing through. You can see there. And so that's what I'm going to aim for. But I have to move quick because silly putty will end up adhering all over the place on the surface. So we're going to grab some Warpstone Glow really quickly here. And just spray Warpstone Glow into that section to create the crescent shape. And then we're going to quickly move over to Moot Green and apply it there as well. So grab a little bit of Warpstone Glow. We're using the regular Citadel variety. Slap that into my brush. Grab a little more. It's okay. Grab the thinner I'm using. About 3 drops should be okay. That's a little more than 3 drops, but it's okay. If it's over thinned, it's not a huge issue. Just gotta be careful. I should turn the PSI down too. A little bit more. And with this tiny amount of paint in the brush, I'm not super concerned about, kind of wasting it or whatever. a size too high. There we go. Let's give that a shot. No, we're still getting a little bit of spider web, or spider legs. He looks kind of bug-eyed and everything right now, but it's going to look fantastic when we're done. Because I have the paint a little overly thin, you can see it's really kind of sloshy in the brush right now. I'm going to do this a few times just to build up a nice strength. Ghost Starman Deluxe. Who needs eye lenses when you have Smarties? It does look like little Smarties on his eyes, right? Funny. Funny. Starman, I think you might be missing your calling as a freaking comedian, man. That should be good enough. Dump that out. Flush, and then we move on to moot green. Then if we need to finesse anything by hand, we can always do that. Not a huge issue. Maybe. I think so, dude. Like, I'm sure in the UK, I'm sure there's not a shortage of comedians, but of course, too, people used to tell me when I was younger, Chris, you should be a comedian. Mainly because I was a bit of a clown, but all right. Let's get the moot green ready. The moot green. Yeah, it's all nice and dry now. Again, like I said, I want to act quick because you can even see like the silly putty on my desk here is just spreading out all over the place. Like here, do a little experiment here. I'm sure anybody who's played with silly putty knows that this stuff just. See, I made a little ball. Okay, and the time it takes for me to do this, watch how much it'll flatten out. And anybody watching after the fact, you can probably just speed up the video and see it just kind of spread out. But anybody who's, relatively new to airbrushing, yeah, definitely go out and get yourself some silly putty because this is really good stuff to use when masking. Grab a little bit more. And this time, I only want 2 or 3 drops. One. There we go. It trickled out on me. Just at the bottom of the well there is all I'm looking for here. I often use these, Games Workshop brushes, especially these long bristled ones, for mixing in the cup. Don't use any kind of really abrasive type brushes to stir. I wouldn't recommend, anything hard, metal, or anything like that. Just, obviously because of the potential for damage. Oh, damn, I didn't grab my brushes, did I? Son of a beehive. I have to go get those later. Anyway. Sorry, I'm just trying to take care of some dry tip here. Take care of your tip. Okay. So we want right around there. Basically using an up and down motion just so I can get a little bit more control as to how this is laying down, as opposed to kind of a broad spray, which we've been doing most of the time here. Like that, just so we can get that little sharp point right there. The right angle there. There we go. Got it that time. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Hopefully that works out. I don't think I've ever done that before, so we're going to find out if that works or not. But that should be enough moot green. I mean, we probably could build up to a brighter green, but overall, this should feel like a dark green gemstone, and that's mostly what we're going for. Now that I'm flushing, I definitely want to turn the PSI up. Ghost Starman Deluxe. We do have quite a lot of comedians in the UK. Competitive industry, I guess. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. All right. Yeah, so fast forward. See a little blobby? See how it's spread out now? So if you're watching this after the fact, you can see how it just kind of... Drop that. All right. So because we are probably done with the airbrush for the moment, I'm just going to make sure I give it a nice thorough flushing. And a nice good wipe down. Then I'm going to use a little bit of Windex. Just a bit. Oop. I still need an airbrush booth from airbrushing. when dealing with the airbrush, lots and lots of flushes and cleaning your brush. Lots and lots. You know what I realized too? Probably why I am a big stickler for keeping tools clean and keeping my airbrush clean is because I was used to it for taking care of guns. Because the gun is a tool, and yeah, it's the same kind of thing. You got to take care of your tools, man. Alrighty, let's demask this and have a look at what we got. So pull that little thing off. See, that's pretty much what I was going for there. Might have to finesse it a bit with the hand. Let's see here. We can lose the parafilm now. Actually, that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. I am mostly okay with that. In fact, I think I'm going to come in with just a little bit of moot green and touch that up a bit. So let's take a little bit of moot green, slap that onto our palette. Don't need much. Grab a detail brush of some sort, and what we're going to do is we're going to just create a couple little high spots there. Just thinning it down just with the dampness of the brush, just ever so slightly. Not too heavily because I don't want it to run on me. Yeah, something like that. Oh, excuse me. Ooh, interesting. I just threw a little speckle in there. Just like little glints. Just something fun. We might come in with a bit more yellow. Kind of really push that brightness up a bit. Here. Yeah. I'm liking this idea of long crescent shape. Kind of something like that. Just gives it a little bit of texture, a little hint of something in there. It's kind of fun. I'm going to reestablish this side a little bit more. So put quite a bit of a crescent there. Yeah. That's kind of fun. Fun is fun. I've got a much stronger band of color on this eye than I did on this eye, but I am mostly okay with that. And you can see when you look at it from the one side, it doesn't feel too cross-eyed. All right. Yeah, I'm mostly okay with that. So now, let's move over to white. Since we already have it out, I guess I could just use some Citadel Air white. Give it a good mix. Raziel, Chris, do you have any desire for games with your Eldar once it's possible again? Do I have desire? Yeah, of course. Do I have desire? Yeah, always. Question is, will I? That's the better question. Greenleaf Terrain. Chris, get anked. Get anked? Why? Why would I want to get anked? All right. Oh, I just had an idea. What if I had hit it on the other side of the lens with a bit of like a light blue-gray or something, and then did this white? Just like tiniest amount. Too late now. I'm not doing it now because I already chucked the mask away. Anyway, that would have been fun. Just need a little bit of white. Just a bit. It's actually pretty thin. That's really thin. So, because we built the high point up here, we're going to put the white up in there. Yeah, that's really thin. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. That's fun. So let's go same thing over here. Something like that. Yeah. Good enough. I did the kind of 2-dot method on the eye. Yeah. I'm okay with that. Well, we might as well continue work on the helmet since we're here. Definitely want to blacken up these grills a bit more. Okay, may as well. Also, I noticed too there's a couple spots here on the eye lens where when I was cutting the mask out, it's still a little bit of the paint still. So let's grab a little bit of our Abaddon Black Citadel Air variety. Slap a little bit onto the palette. And just do a little bit of aligning. Just like so. Yeah, I missed a bunch right here in the mask. So we're going to come in and we're going to reestablish that. Basically create a nice little outline. This. like that. Give us that little black outline. Just like that. Little black outline. Do it on this side. Need a little bit more. Paint doesn't want to seem to adhere to the surface very well. There we go. Fun is fun. Now then, well, since we have the black paint out, let's switch gears a bit. Let's apply this right into these grills. There we go. Nice and shallowed. Whoop. Oh my god. Okay. Whew. That's why he needs a handle of some sort. Just rolled it through that residual bit of white paint I had there. Oh my god. Just grab a little bit more black just to finish off those grills. There's something funny going on the yellow side. His black paint doesn't feel like it wants to sit on the surface. It's kind of weird. You know, like when you, if anybody's ever made the error of, well, it's not error, but made the decision to not prime a miniature, or if you've ever tried to have paint stick to a smooth surface, usually you run into that kind of issue. Like, for example, if you're trying to paint the clear plastic bits with regular paints, and you know how it like beads up. That's what the paint is doing on the yellow side of things. I don't know why it is. Something on the yellow side. There's some sort of smooth texture. Not sure why. The metal on this side's kind of messed up. I think maybe I should come in with a dark metal instead. Instead of trying to add black shadows. Should just paint this all with dark first. Yeah, I think I'm going to come in with dark metal first. I think I also want to create like a shadow right along this rim here. Really define that face. Go Starman looks. Chris, I assume you're gonna apply a gloss layer onto the lenses when you're finished. Yeah, there'll be a gloss layer. I'm gonna gloss the actually once this helmet is done, I'm gonna gloss the entire thing. Then I'll probably matte it, and then I'll re-gloss the or maybe I'll even just take some silly putty and just put it over the lenses, and then matte the entire helmet. Are we still live? It said my stream has ended. I show live and my thing's still transmitting. I have no drop frames. As far as I can tell, I'm still running. I don't know why you'd ask me in the chat if the stream ended, because then I wouldn't answer him, so I don't know. Goes to Starman Deluxe. Still seemed to be live for me, Rez. Yeah, at least he didn't get fully splattered. Yikes. Yeah. Are you planning to weather him? You know what? Initially, I was not. Just straight color. I mean, it's kind of hard to see under the lights, but there are highlights, subtle as they are, between this darker red up to a lighter red. Like I if you recall from the previous episode, I used Wild Rider red on the very top here. It's kind of hard to see, but there are transitions of color. Well, I mean, it's easy to see on the yellow side, but it's kind of messy here, and I'm not entirely happy with this little spot here. I don't know. Anyway, let's continue on. A dark metal. Let's grab some. I mean, we could grab some scale 75. We could. Nah, let's just use Citadel. We can stick with Citadel. Let's grab Lead Belcher and some regular Abaddon Black. Some regular old Abaddon Black. Trencher 75. It's live. Yes. I think straight color works best. Love the shininess. Yeah, well, I don't think I'm gonna leave the helmet as shiny as you see it here. It's gonna have, like, especially in the shadows, because of the particular paint I was using, it actually finishes it with a glossiness as opposed to more matte finishes area. And I just want a more uniform appearance on the surface, but the lenses definitely are gonna get a gloss. Definitely. So we're gonna grab some Abaddon Black, some Lead Belcher. I'm gonna mix these together, give me a nice dark metallic. Oh, you know what I didn't do? There's that little space right up inside the little air vent. I don't know what is that on a Space Marine? Is that like an air vent? Is that, is it something? Is there a light coming out of that? What is that? I always assume it's some sort of vent, but who knows? It's whatever whatever it needs to be, I suppose, right? Let's grab 1 dollop of lead belcher. And let's grab 1 dollop of Abaddon Black. Actually, probably less than a dollop because it's very, very strong. That actually might be too much. No, that's okay. Nice and dark. Yeah, that's all right. All right. I guess we can use this medium base coating brush from Citadel. Should be fine. Nice little larger surface like this. Of course, I do want to be a little bit more precise on the high points here. The corners. Yeah, it's much better. A little bit more uniform feeling now. Okay, let that dry a few moments. Come back. See, I wanted to reestablish the metal because I ended up hitting that high point right up there with other color. It was basically a white paint I hit it with. So, yeah. Definitely, though, need to consider varnishing this soon, just from all the handling I've been doing on it. Okay. So now this layer should be dry. And I'm going to hit it again with another layer of metallics. Ghost of Starman Deluxe. I guess it's an air vent. They never glow in the artwork, so I doubt it's a light. Yeah, exactly. I mean, who knows, right? I mean, but yeah. You don't see it in the artwork that it lights up on that Mohawk. And on submarines, although like the Mark VI, the Mohawk had a light off to one side and it had that groove or whatever the hell on the top. So, you know, I'm not saying it's possible, but I'm just saying that at one point the Mark VI helmets had that little side lamp on their helmets. Now, hail Bob, heyo, heyo, heyo. Okay. Now you may or may not notice that I'm alternating my brush stroke here on these surfaces. Why does Chris do that? Survey says. You all know damn well why. A couple more layers and I think I'll be happy with that. Yeah, I really should varnish this soon. Maybe we'll do it right now. Hail Bob, it's still there on the Mark VI if I recall. Yeah, the little side lamp on the helmet. Yeah. Not that I'm some sort of Space Marine armor historian or anything, but you know. Anyway. Just a couple more little layers here. Just make it nice and even. Just like so. Always gotta make sure my frickin'. Oh, I didn't do the back of the helmet yet. Is that typically painted in metals, or is that left in color, or what? I guess I could probably paint it in metals. That little space on the back of the helmet, what is that typically painted? Anybody know? Bueller. Ghost Starman Deluxe. I do the bit on the back in metal. I don't know about the typical though. Yeah, I don't know. Is it typically painted? Like in a color? I would assume it is, but what do I know? Alright, screw it. We'll base coat it black and then give it a mixture of dark metallic, just like we did for the rest of this. I almost want to do a little bit of edging on the grill on the helmet. And I kind of do want to pick that out, make that darker up there. That little space up there. Kind of. Oh, right, and I wanted to darken up this seam underneath the brow. Okay. I was thinking we were nearing the end of working on this helmet, but I don't think we are. I don't think we are. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of Abaddon Black, and we're going to fill in that space in the back of the helmet. Doing it black first just because I just don't really feel like messing with metallics the whole time. It's quite a bit of black I grabbed actually, but that's fine. Yes, because I don't really feel like monkeying too much, right? Get the third finger in here just for grip. What are these doodads supposed to be? Does anybody know? What are these supposed to be on the back of the helmet? Is this like some sort of connector? Turn signals? What is it? A Space Marine helmet with turn signals. It's for the special Space Marines. Oh, excuse me. Give this a few moments to dry before we apply another layer. I guess we can do this underlip as well. Oh, see, I got a little bit of black on my finger there. Be careful. Don't make the same dumb mistakes I make. Alright. While we're waiting for that to dry. Ghost Starman Deluxe. Oh, by the way, Chris, did you ever get anywhere with your life-size Space Marine helmet? Did I get anywhere? No. I still have the parts and everything like that. what I was initially working from was the paper files for creating the helmet, and I have the files now, but I should have been working from the foam files to create the helmet, which is probably why I kind of just got annoyed by the whole project, because working with the paper files, it just didn't, work out well. And it's not how, basically a lot of people are doing that project, right? So, yeah. But I will return to it. I've been getting a hankering for it. I've also had a hankering to do a Mandalorian helmet as well. There's one YouTuber I watch. He did He did a whole Mandalorian suit out of aluminum. He works with aluminum. He welds and everything like that. Awesome suit. I guess I gotta use the hairdryer for this. Hail Bop, random bits. They don't connect to anything as far as I've seen. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows, right? Ghost Starman Deluxe. Oh, so the parts weren't quite the right size? No, the template was designed for paper craft, right? And because the material I was cutting out is foam, there's certain thickness to it, and the templates don't account for that. And so a lot of people who are doing these working in the foam are working from foam templates. So that was the problem. And I'm just going to run the hairdryer for a little bit. But yeah, so once I print off some and get it back around to this part of the project, yeah, I'll probably redo it in foam. But then I also saw that somebody had done the Primaris helmet in foam. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool too. The other one that kind of gets me is as well is the 3D printed the helmets. And I often thought that would actually be really cool as well if I get my hands on the 3D printer. And the thing is that a lot of them have come down so far in price, right? Of course, too, I'd also like to get a resin printer as well, but, Anyway, applying the second layer of black. Thought I grabbed enough paint there. And actually, if we act fast enough, we might be able to just use that black with some metal and just base coat that entire thing. In fact, let's use the hairdryer again. Speed that up. Got too many things. My workspace is very small. Which is why recently, when I was talking about doing goals, I made a video for the patrons earlier this week talking about goals, and I've posted on my Patreon goals at a certain level. This and that. And so I posted recently that at a certain level, I'll look at, obviously getting studio space. At the current level I have it set to, it's kind of far. Especially at which the pace at which my channel and everything has been growing has not been terribly fast. Which is fine. Yeah. Oh, ba-dum-ba-boom. Let's grab a little bit of lead belcher. We'll mix it into that Abaddon black, giving us a nice dark metallic. Yeah. Ooh, almost got the same shade that we did initially. Almost. Waste not, want not. As Chris is fond of saying. Okay. Doesn't really matter. One project that I'm really waiting to show up, not project, but the one thing I'm waiting for really to show up is my damn Space Marine from Bandai. I wonder, has anybody gotten theirs in North America yet? Because I want my Space Marine. I want my Space Marine. And I'm annoyed that it hasn't come out or hasn't gotten here yet. Go. Give that a quick dry. Goes to Starman. I expect now it won't arrive for a while due to the COVID situation. Yeah, who knows? I have no idea. Apparently during this, it was like, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, apparently news had dropped that the containers, or the cargo container that was carrying them, made it here to North America. Apparently they're here, they're just not being distributed or whatever yet. I don't know. Something like that. Something. There we go. It's all metallized. Are we going to highlight it? I don't know. I may. I probably could. I mean, we can probably... Damn it! Did I just frickin' touch that? Son of a bitch. I just frickin' touched that. Got it on my finger and I just touched that little spot right there. For frick's sakes. Man, this yellow is so hard. I almost want to go back over it all because I got like a little speck over here, speck there. There's little specks when I was adding the shadows. Oh, for frick's sakes. So that's why you shouldn't handle your model so much. Ugh. Such a pain. That's over here for now. Oh, where am I here? Go Starman Deluxe. North America doesn't have access to the GW web store back yet, if I recall. No, but the Bandai Space Marines were coming from Japan. Oh God, and that coffee's ice cold. Oh. What should I do? What do I want to do? That is so freaking annoying. I tell you what, I do want to hit it with yellow and go over that. Flash gets yellow, won't cut it. No, maybe it will. What I want is something that is really opaque. Like Uriel yellow is really opaque. Uriel yellow? Yeah, Uriel. No. Everland Sunset, that's it. Ooh, do I dare? It's not going to color match. Well, it might match closer to the shadowy points. But on these higher points, I'm going to have to come in and lay the brighter yellow down again. Do I have Everland Sunset in air? I think I do. So this is it. Everland Sunset. We'll give it a little shake. We'll give it a try. I don't know how well it's going to match. I think I'm going to have to try and blend up with it and then pull the yellow back down again. We'll see. We'll see. Just got to make sure this is all shook up. So we're going to bust the airbrush back out. And I'm going to try and correct up some of these little boo-boos. And then I'm going to seal this frickin' thing. Because, damn, this is pissing me off. Once I seal it and protect it again, then I can go back to, masking. Because what I'll do is, once I have this... I almost did it again. I think I'll mask this off, spray it, mask that off, right? Get that area masked off and spray it. Do the highlights. So I'm pretty sure that's how I did the grill on the hoses here, way back when. Anyway, back and forth. It's okay because we're working in pretty thin paints, and something like this, honestly, I think I should have went with something more like a Tamiya or Humbrol, more of a enamel base type of paint rather than water-based acrylics. Just to stop myself from handling it so much. And yeah, anyway, grab my airbrush, sticking with the Renegade Chrome, and grab a little bit of Everland Sunset. Yeah, see, it is good deal darker, but it is closer to the shade color, which should be fine. Grab a little bit. Probably too much, but oh well. Okay, let's grab a little bit of thinner. Just a couple drops. Mix that up. And if I can manage to salvage this yellow, I'm sealing it. Although I might not show me sealing it because I can't do it on camera because the spray will just go everywhere onto my work surface. Well, I mean, overspray's probably been hitting a lot of my projects. I've been working on this one here for the next set of fresh tips. Patrons already get access to these videos. You can see. It's pretty fun. I'm having fun with this model so far. And we're going to continue to have fun with this guy. But yeah, if you want those tutorials right now, how I did that armor just went up today. Just went up today. And then tomorrow, patrons will get access to how I did the hair. Yes, the hair has been painted. It actually, at the moment, it doesn't actually look like it was painted, but anyway. All right. PSI is kind of high. Okay. Reason why I've thinned it out too is so that I can build up to my desired boo-boo fixing. Because there's a spot there, right where my thumb is, and there's a spot there. So we're gonna attempt to correct. It's not sitting as opaque as I'd like, but in a couple areas it did cover up. I'm wondering if the Citadel Air variety is not the same as the base paint variety. If it's just the tonal similarity and not, not the properties. Interesting. If you know what I mean, right? Just freaking spiderweb that. See there, I just freaking laid a little too much down. Arg. See, that's probably a lesson in leave well enough alone. It almost looks like he bondoed his helmet, like he was trying to fix a paint job on his helmet. It's all bondoed up. Oh, man. I'm getting some dry tip going on here. The heck does bondoed mean? You never heard of that? It's when it's auto body. They use Bondo, which is this product that, patches up like rust spots on a vehicle, like on the body work. It's Bondo. I thought that was a fairly common term, but I guess it's not. But anyway, yeah. It's whenever you've seen like I don't know if you get that in India. I imagine you do. You get rusty vehicles, and they'll have like patchwork. So like you can tell, like for example, the body was green. It was a green paint job, but then you have like this red, like little patchwork on the vehicle where they've cleaned up rust spots and stuff, and that's often referred to as Bondo. It's a product used in that process. Anyway, as I was saying, that's how it looks like on the helmet is like it was bondoed, like it was auto-bodied. Anyway, I don't know. I'm going crazy trying to fix this. Freaking dry tip. I don't really recommend doing this, but it works like a charm. Mainly because I don't recommend it because you can end up, scratching off your chrome plating on your parts. But for anybody who can't see what I'm doing, I'm using a X-Acto blade to clean this off. Ghost Star Deluxe. Unfortunately, due to never owning my own car, I've never had to fix the body. Grim, I think it is, but I also watch a few grease monkey type shows where they fix crap cars in order to go fast or road trip. Alright, yeah, that's flowing a lot better now. Yeah. Basically, all I'm doing is I'm just trying to even out the color now so it doesn't have that abruptness to it. Still flowing right. Now I want to hit this spot again. Alright, let's do it. I'm just going to put the brush aside for a moment. Grab the silly putty. Ghost Starman Deluxe. The only car show I've ever really watched is Top Gear, and I haven't seen that since they dropped Clarkson, May, and Heyman. Greenleaf Terrain. Can you be the Kool-Aid Man for Halloween? Can I? Sure. Will I? Not likely. But can I? Yes, I can. I can do whatever I set my mind to. Probably not quite the answer he was looking for, but using a bit of silly putty here just to protect off some areas that I don't want to get hit. And yeah, I want to protect the hose as well. And probably don't want to hit the grills either, but you know what? I'm going to mask that side off too. Ghost Starman Deluxe. I now have an image of Chris in my mind breaking through the wall yelling, "Oh yeah." That's an old bit on Mini Wargaming video we did a long time ago, goofing off. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, we were all like Nerf darting and stuff, and you know, it was basically representing all of us goofing off at work while Matt and Dave were away. Anyway, there we go. I'm going to come in and spray that little area right there. Since I'm messing things up terribly anyway, might as well continue on, right? Down, just knock that back. Just like that. Give that a few moments to dry. And are we done goofing around with this color? Probably. Is there anywhere on the body? Probably. Actually, right there is a little too much oranginess. Let's move the head here so the overspray doesn't catch it. Yeah, just to knock that back a bit so it's not so intense. Yeah. Just taking out some of that intensity. Can I get in there with this? Let's see if we can. Yeah, we can. Just want to get rid of some of this red that's back there. Just like that. See? As some of you may or may not have realized, that most of airbrushing is just masking off areas and just, you know, just doing your thing. Let's get in there. Plus, too, I'm trying to use up all this paint I have in here. Again, waste not, want not. Let's see if we can get in the inside of that leg there. Just like so. Yeah, we're not too worried about that. There we go. Just cleaning these areas up. Making it look a little less funky. That's all right. Yep. Let's put that there. We can probably wash out our brush now. Or actually, hold on. Yeah, let's give it a quick flush. Time we at here? 5 minutes left of the show. Perfect. It's enough time to talk to you guys a bit. And rinse out my brush. Wipe the paint off. Oh, let's turn that PSI up again. There we go. Flushez-vous. Ghost Star Deluxe. Oh, cool. The body looks hilarious without the head. I think that can be said about any body. Of course, some bodies look hilarious with the head. Oh yeah, definitely needed that cleaning right now. There's dried paint starting to collect along the perimeter. So now we should be... Oh no, yeah, I'm done with this brush. I'm going to switch over to the Patriot when I varnish. Varnish. For the varnishing. Some Windex. Spritz this down. There we go. Ghost Star Deluxe. It looks just like a short Marine with a massive gray platform on top of his shoulders. Which is why I'm really looking forward to the Bandai. I mean, when the McFarlane Space Marines come around, I'll probably get one of those. And I guess it really, you know, like... Is that done? Oh, it's done. I was wondering why it's taking so long. I was like, there wasn't much in there. Anyway, yeah, I am looking forward to the McFarlane. Right now, I mean, the McFarlanes look a little funny, but that could just be the pictures. Who knows, right? I mean, the Bandai ones, when they first dropped, they look pretty darn cool. And it, you know... But they're also, you know, Bandai's also really good at proportions, you know, the scales of stuff. Like, honestly, for the most part, you know, stuff by Bandai, you know, for me, can do no wrong. I know it sounds a little biased, but... Anyway. Alright. Let's remove our little mask. Not bad. We can re-blend in that transition a bit. But it's not bad. Now I have to redo that. Why is that all wet? Don't tell me frickin' water got that. Is that paint? Yeah, it was water. Good grief. I gotta re-blend this out. I'm gonna do that afterwards, and then I'm gonna seal this thing. And yeah, then I gotta redo that transition going on there. But with that, I'm gonna do that with the gold, with my golden paints. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna seal this thing so I can stop farting around with it and touching parts. And you know what? I think I'm just gonna do a simple edging too of metallics on those. Get that done. I may jump on later today if I jump back into this, but I'm going to stop now because I got other stuff to take care of at the moment, like videos. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Hopefully you guys had fun, enjoyed this. talking with you guys. Ghost Star Man Deluxe. It'd be nice to see a side-by-side comparison of the Bandai one and the McFarlane one. Definitely. Well, as soon as I get my hands on my Bandai one, because I do have that one pre-ordered, and so that should be showing up soon. When? Don't know. I'm impatiently waiting. And for the McFarlane one, well, I don't know if there's any word on when that comes out, so hard to say. But at any rate, yeah, I most likely will get a McFarlane one as well. And especially since McFarlane, they have plans of doing, more stuff. There's no talk of like any more from Bandai as far as like them releasing any more things. So, truly this Bandai Marine will be a special Marine, especially if it's to the same level of what previous action figures and stuff. Now, I've seen the reviews on it, and, a buddy, was pretty critical of it, but he was critical of a lot of things that just really, I don't think matter to a lot of, war gamers and stuff. So, but anyway, I'm curious, and I'm excited to get my hands on it. Grim, it's been a blast. Yes, it has been a blast. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I'll check you guys later. Again, huge thank you to all my patrons. Your support. If you're considering Patreon support, click the links. And I'll see you guys later. Take care of those brushes. They will take care of you. And I will see you guys. See you guys later. Later? Maybe. The next time you see me, this right here might be gone. Who knows? Dun 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 dun. Man, who knew a compressor was so heavy? Dun 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 dun. Oh, my cold coffee. Oh God. Oh jeez.